Alright, this video will be for mat cutting. Again, this will work for mat, illustration board, or any cardboard of that kind of sort. The first thing you want to make sure you have is a self-healing mat. You don't want to be digging up the surface underneath of your desk or whatever surface you're on. So use a mat to cut on top of. You want to use a box cutter, which is a little bit heavier duty. You can find these in most hardware stores, at the bookstore, or anything like that. They are much better for cutting nice, clean, edged cardboard rather than the X-Acto blade, which is actually used more for paper. The X-Acto blade has a little bit more of a bend to the blade, so you could actually do curves and that kind of stuff, which is not what we want for this. We want the box cutter for this. If you need to use this in a pinch, it will work, but I would rather stay with the larger box cutter for these type of projects. And then also, I would always try to use a metal ruler, because the metal ruler won't scar or nick. In a wooden ruler, you can actually dig into the side of it, causing curves or off-centered lines. You can also ruin your rulers. So metal is much better for cutting cardboard or mat. All right. Now this is just a scrap piece of mat of what I'm using. We're going to cut this up a little bit. This can be used for mat, or back as illustration board. You always want to draw and make your marks and cut on the back of the part that you're going to use, so that way if you do make any extra marks or any stuff that you don't want to see in your illustration or on the mat, it's all on the back. So if this was a piece of mat board, I'd do all my measurements and drawing on the back right here. All right, so we're just basically going to cut this into two pieces. So you always want to start by measuring, making two measuring points. So I'm just going to cut 6 inches off the side of this. So there's one 6-inch mark. There's another 6-inch mark. And then I'm just going to draw the line in between the two, so I know it's nice and straight. If you have a T-square, obviously you can eliminate one of those marks. Alright. Now, one thing you do want to do is, say that this is the side that I'm going to be using. This is the scrap. You always want to cut towards the scrap, not the side that you're going to be using. So that way, if you do make a mistake, this will not have been what you made the mistake on. The scrap will be what you made the mistake on. So since I'm right-handed, I'm going to use my left hand to hold the ruler. Okay? Line that up nice. Make sure your fingers, these fingers, do not overlap over the top. I've seen people cut right through their fingers. That's not fun. So line these up nice. This is in my right hand. Again, if I do make a mistake, it's going to go into the scrap, not into the piece that I'm using. Right? So the way to do this, make sure you have a nice sharp blade on this, because dull blades will start to rip your board as opposed to cut. The first one you want to, a lot of people think you got to cut this in one swipe. Really, the first one, just take it nice and easy through it. Keep that blade against the ruler, so that way it just scores it for you. All right. Now your blade's going to follow that. You could almost just take the ruler away. I wouldn't, but you have that score in there now. So now the blade just slides right through. And I think it basically got through at that time. There's one little corner that's stuck there. And what you get is a nice, clean-edged cut right there. There's no overhanging pieces of the paper on there or anything like that. Nice, clean cut for you. And that's it.